Hello and welcome back to the Spots of Wisdom podcast. I'm Shannon, I run Spot That Dog, and we have Jess again from Hoof and Paws. Welcome, Jess.
Oh yeah.
So today's episode we are going to talk about having allies within the pet industry. So this one is a little bit more based towards pet professionals, but also how having those allies can be useful for our clients. So Jess, tell me, do you have many pet allies?
Tons. As you know, we have our group, don't we?
Yeah.
Me, you, and Jazz from
Hammond's Hooves and House, or
that's the one.
whichever way which one it is.
Whichever way round she gets it, this always confuses me. And at the moment, I am actually running classes with another pet professional. And I also have my brand new dog training online academy, and I also have guest speakers come and talk to us from various different backgrounds, clinical behaviorists, trainers. I have hopefully a physio coming on as well, groomers, you name it, because when we're looking at our pet care, we're looking at it as a whole.
Yeah.
We've all got strengths and all, so
Yeah,
especially
and I think that's the massive important thing in it. Like for me, I don't see other trainers as competition.
yeah,
Same with walkers. Like, I mean, there's more group walkers around me than solo walkers, so there's not really a sense of competition there. But equally, if I've got a dog that doesn't suit my team, if I've got like we just can't physically fit them in. We've got um a little list of other walkers that we'll contact now and we'll work with.
yeah,
I do speak to them most days like we do with you, and it just makes life a little bit easier if you've got people you can work with that are as committed to things as you are, that even if it means that like so we've had it recently, I've done a job for someone and she's done a job for me, and while technically we've not made any money because I've had to pay her rate, she's had to pay mine, and they're different, it's helped us in the fact that been able to service a customer and keep a customer happy as such, and like you have got to sometimes just take the loss, haven't you?
yeah, absolutely. And you got that thing, we're on the road all day.
Yeah.
If something was to go wrong with our
Yeah.
vehicles, we need professionals that one know how to handle a
Yeah.
dog, particularly like us as solo walkers, we don't always have the most
Yeah.
easiest dogs to handle. We need someone to call upon either to drop that dog off while we
Yeah.
race with our car if it's not able, or drop us and the dog back
Yeah.
up theirs and then go back to our car,
Yeah.
which I have done for other pet professionals before. They phone me and like, oh, we've broken down, we're
Yeah.
waiting for recovery, can you help us? And I'm able to do that, but again, it's because I'm friendly with them.
Yeah.
And as trainers and stuff, I'm always referring to vets, to
Yeah.
physios, and I'm friendly with them,
Yeah. And I think with trainers especially, like the minute you start seeing someone as competition, I think if anything, it says more about yourself than
Yeah,
the other business. If you see someone as competition, then you don't have the confidence in yourself and for your business to kind of push yourself, if that makes sense. Like I don't need to sit there and say that Jenny down the road is my like competitive trainer, because that's not the case. We've all got our specialties, we've all got different things, and actually, again, we've got quite a few trainers that we'll pass things off to. And like I've had clients where I've taken on the job, but then actually realized it's going to take me 3 hours out of my day just to go and visit one client, which
yeah,
it's not worth the money. So we've managed to find them another trainer that does them locally, or is it like
yeah,
it might be that I say hypothetically, if I don't specialize in separation anxiety, there might be someone who does it better or
yeah,
knows more or specializes in certain breeds, and I can put them their way because then hopefully they'll do the same backwards to me.
yeah,
Right, the lady that I referred this person to, she lives probably about half an hour, 45 minutes away from me. So we've had it with both of us. We've referred clients from like, so she's referred a client that lives by me, and I've
mhm,
had a client that lives by her to her, but they've obviously come to us, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
I just think you're so much better off trying to keep people in your pocket as such, because at the end of the day, especially being a trainer, we're all here for the same reason, or we should be all here
Yeah.
for the same reason. We're here because we want to help people with their dogs. It shouldn't be about the money. Obviously, everything is about money, but realistically, we've all started this because we love dogs.
Yeah.
So, go on.
Reality is, there's enough dogs for all of us to
Yeah,
go around. And as long as the people you're recommending follow your same
yeah,
ethics. So, for example, me and you, we're ethical trainers. We
yeah,
don't believe in doing force. I'm not going to recommend you to a balance
no,
trainer. I'm not going to recommend you to an adversive trainer.
yeah,
If I'm recommending you to a trainer because of their specialisms, I've got friends that are separation anxiety trainer. It's not my bag. So
yeah,
I had a referral the other day from another friend because there was a child involved
yeah,
and a potential bite had happened. The bite didn't actually happen, but mum was obviously naturally very, very
yeah,
worried. So I got referred because I understand children. I did childcare at school, and have got young children in the family. So I used to dealing with that. I'm a children and dogs specialist. So I was recommended to her, but actually, coincidentally, they also wanted a walker, which my friend who referred me originally offers walking
yeah,
in her area. So again, I said, but whilst you might not want to have training, she will offer
yeah.
walking for you.
And that's the thing, like, I think, again, there's so much difference between people, and I do it sometimes. So if a client says, "Oh yeah, we've used other trainers, but it didn't quite work," this, that, and the other, I will ask who they've used,
Yeah,
and not because it, again, it's not the competition thing. It's not of like, yeah, I got it, like,
yeah,
not go me, but again, like you said, if you know that a certain trainer is a certain way, so again, I'm making up names, but if someone said, "Oh yeah, I've used Benjamin, the adversive trainer, but it just didn't work for me." If I know of them, I know how they work.
yeah.
It might be that I follow their social media. It might be that I've heard things about them. Again, you don't want to go off of hearsay, but equally,
It,
if it means that they're complete opposite from how I train, I then know how to approach this client.
it could also be their personality and their training style and the way they deliver their training
Yeah,
may not suit that client as an
exactly.
individual. For example, if they only ever deliver their training plans on writing,
Yeah,
or they expect
yeah,
their owners to remember everything, and you're the one that provides a written plan,
yeah,
or you say to them, I'm happy to voice note you,
yeah,
that might suit that individual client
yeah,
better. Like I always ask my clients, how do you want to receive
yeah,
your communication? Like, for example, if I said to them, oh, do you want me to give you a call in a week's time to see how you're getting on?
yeah,
Or do you want me to just pop you a text message?
yeah,
Some people just, they're like, do you know what? Just pop me a text message. I'll get back to you at some point. But
yeah,
someone like, do you know what? I won't actually get back to you unless you
yeah.
call me.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, like even that in ourselves that I've said before, I'm a really unprofessional is not the right word, but I'm a very chill, friendly trainer. So
Yeah,
when it comes to my classes, it's almost like a friendship group. So when I've got my regular clients that keep coming back, we have a right joke, we have a right laugh,
yeah,
but they still learn in their sessions, they still have a good time.
yeah,
And I've mentioned them hundreds of times before. We've got a little staffy that comes to class, and she said, like, I mean, I've had this argument in personal life as well as like professional life. I'm very straightforward and very blunt. You know this. If
yeah.
I've got to say something, not in a horrible way, but like if I feel that something needs to be said, it'll come out.
You
Because
don't beat about the bush, do
yeah,
you?
no, and I'm not the person that's gonna be like, it's okay, we'll sort it out. It's
Yeah,
right, you need to do this because if you don't, this is gonna happen.
yeah. You're
My client said,
straightforward.
yeah, I'm very for it. She loves that about me because she said, like, her dog's, he's just turned a year old and he's hormonal. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know what I genuinely, if we didn't have you, I don't know where we'd be. And it's like, there's not any major issues, but we're going through it together. And because of the fact that I'm like, right, what are you doing this way and what are you doing that way? And she said, oh, I've done this, that, and ever. And I'm like, well, maybe don't do that and do this instead. And it
Yeah.
is not being blunt, but being straight and being forward and being honest that some, okay, it doesn't suit everyone,
Yeah.
but I think it's important to get the point across. Like, again, don't beat around the bush on, well, they might get better if you do this.
Yeah.
It's right, well, this is this you, so try this.
Yeah, well, and also like depending on how someone might take that, they might, if you give them the sugar coated version, for
Yeah.
example, they might not take it
No.
as you literally mean doing
Yeah.
something. Whereas like I suppose that's why we all get on so well,
Yeah.
me, you and
And
Jazz,
they
is
might also see it as optional, if that makes sense.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
out. Like obviously we're really straight with each other.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that we don't want to say to each other as friends, we go, oh no, that was rubbish.
Yeah.
Like, but there's no offense made to
No.
it. It comes from a place of love
Yeah.
and honesty with each other. Um, and we've been friends what, 3 years
Coming
now?
3 years now, yeah.
It's been 3 years, and when we met in person, it was like we knew
We
each other
literally, yeah,
inside.
been seeing each other all the time and made no like, and it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, you know how to adapt things as well. So there's things that conversations me and Jade have, there's conversations me and you have, there's conversations me and Jazz have, or all of us as a whole. Um, while we all know how each other work, there is also times where we know how and when to say things. And I think as a professional, it's important to be able to do that with your clients as well. So, right, okay, with the staffy owner, I know I can be straightforward and blunt
Yeah,
about things. It might be that with other clients, I've got to take a little bit of a step back
yeah,
and think of the right ways to approach things. Like we've mentioned in a previous podcast that with some clients, you can't just come out and say your dog's got fat. You have
yeah,
got to not beat around the bush in that sense, but you've got to address it in a way that they're not going to get offended. Because again,
absolutely.
you're not saying it to be horrible. It's just that you've got to adapt the way you're addressing things because you don't want it to come out the wrong, not come out the wrong way, it to be taken the wrong way.
Yeah. Again, like when you've been in the industry as long as us guys have, you've become part of a family's life for a long, long
Yeah,
time. And sometimes you might go, oh, something's not quite right, either with the dog or with the owner. And you're like, is everything okay? Or,
yeah,
you pick up those subtle changes. You pick up that the dog might behave in a certain way. And we become part of their life. And it's just about knowing when's appropriate to say something or go,
yeah.
you want a cup
And
of tea?
don't you find like obviously you're not going to with every client, but when you've got the clients that you can be not friendly with, but less professional with, actually you get better results. So I've got a client who has recently been through some things. I'm not going to say what, but actually in the recent discussions with her, I've said like, well, do you think how life was before that probably has effect on your dog's behavior?
Yeah,
And she said, yeah, like 100%. And now that things are different, I think the dog's going to be different.
yeah,
And I think to be able to have those conversations with people, actually, it is really useful because you can actually get more down into it and assess things better than if you've got someone who doesn't give you any information at all.
yeah,
And again, when it comes to like, right, so we're like that with clients, but to be able to be like that with other businesses as well. Because if you've got someone who's going to be straight with you and someone who's going to have your back and stuff like that, you know that you're almost secure.
absolutely. And we all have bad days. We all have days where things don't go right and you're a little bit upset or something, or how do you broach something with a client if
Yeah,
it's a conversation, and to be able to have other
yeah,
professionals that you can talk to and be like, oh, how would you broach this?
yeah,
Or am I looking at this completely wrong? Am I missing something? Am I that we do it with our cases all the time,
yeah,
don't we? We will always talk through our cases. If we're really unsure of something, we will talk through them, not give personal details because that's not right, but
yeah,
like be like, am I missing
yeah,
something here? And to be able to do that is so, so vital, I
yeah,
think. And you know, as I said, there is loads of dogs in the UK.
yeah.
There's no need to fight over them.
Now, And
And
is like we've mentioned about passing between like physios and stuff like that. And while in that case there's no competition, is there? If you've got a complete different business, so a trainer to a physio, there's no competition there in the slightest.
no,
But the better you can have allies with all those types of companies, the better. So like at the minute we've got um even talking like venues. So obviously I use social clubs, I use rugby clubs, um and having that as an ally in itself. So I've had the social club since I started, so they've supported me just by letting me have the venue all these years. But I've had two different rugby clubs, and the one that I've got currently, like we're doing a big fair in like next month. Um, I've got they bought treats off me so they could sell it at the bar, so I made money that way. They hand out like all my what's it called, business cards. We share social media stuff together. Like having that as an ally, especially with a rugby club, because you think of what rugby clubs are like.
yeah,
Once you've got a team in your back pocket, you're set.
yeah,
Because whether it's them, whether it's other clubs, whether it's the families, like you've got a whole like army of potential clients
yeah,
just because you've supported someone else as well. And like I said, it doesn't even have to be other pet professionals,
yeah,
but having that in the same way, and then again whether it's the vet. So with this pet fair, we got my local vet. My vets know me. We've got loads of animals. They know me. They're coming to it. So they'll be advertising that they're coming to my pet fair. Like,
yeah.
I think just putting in routes everywhere where you can is such an important thing to do for pet professionals.
Absolutely, and just having that support. I mean, you seem very lucky. Your area are very open to having more dogs in your social clubs than
Yes.
down my area. Unfortunately, I'm still on the lookout for a indoor venue. Can I
Yeah.
get one? Is impossible at the moment.
And it
But
is, yeah,
no,
it's hard. Like, even so, I've been going to a social club for years, like since I was a child. It doesn't matter that they've known me since I've been born, they will not let me use the venue.
no,
And I get it, there's rules and stuff like that, but you that's where like it doesn't always work having an ally. And they would,
absolutely.
like if they were allowed to, I could do it, but
Yeah, and that's it, isn't it? But going back to other pet professionals
yeah.
working with each other, we only have a limited amount of day, like hours of working. We've only got a limited 5 to 7 days a week. It
Yeah.
isn't the weeks aren't getting any longer, I'm afraid. So we can't cater for everyone.
No.
So that's when we need to be able to refer on. You know, if you're looking at your diary and you're not going to be able to get them in to meet them for 3 4 weeks, you're better off referring on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like just being able to associate yourself with
Yeah,
good allies as such. So like a local walker, actually I'm gonna be her bridesmaid. Um, she just helped us out and get like took out one of our dogs, and it's stupid things like her putting up a Facebook post and tagging us in it.
yeah,
Like it just shows the support, vice versa, and now on out. And like there's no reason that just because you've got the same sort of business doesn't mean that you can't
no.
support each other. Like, okay, she does mostly group walks and we do solos, but when I needed help with a solo walk, granted the dog was friendly, so it didn't make any difference. But when I needed her to take on a walk, she took on a walk.
Like likewise, if she had a dog that she started walking, thought actually this isn't suitable for group
Yeah,
walk.
and we have. We've taken two dogs from her
Yeah,
because, as mentioned in previous podcasts, dogs' behaviors do change
yeah,
and they just unfortunately aren't suitable for group walks anymore. And it is what it is. And again, it's just having that because you know as well as I do, with the dog walking business, it's forever changing. In the last 3 years, we've had a massive mix of clients, like not losing some, but you get rid of some move house, some move to a different, not country, but a different town. Dogs
oh,
pass away, there's
yeah.
changing circumstances. Like it's a constant cycle of new clients, like and stuff like that. So if you've got someone that will refer you or will pass like jobs on to you, it is extremely helpful. And for me, Well, I mean, I've not heard anyone say anything, but I don't see the point in, like I said, viewing people as competition because if you've got someone who, I mean, I've told you stories before I was a dog trainer, but I don't see the point of people batting other businesses down in order to raise their own up.
Yeah,
If like we're not in the same town, but if I was to, we wouldn't do it anyway, but hypothetically, if someone asked me about you and I went, "Oh no, just shit,"
yeah,
just to make myself look better, I'm not
yeah,
making myself look better. I'm making myself, in my own brain, look like an idiot.
yeah.
Because
And it's
why?
okay to say to someone, like it's absolutely okay, I think, to say they train in a different way
Yeah,
that I don't agree with.
yeah,
And the reason I don't agree with that, like, i.e., say if they were reversive or balanced,
yeah,
is like I know that there's absolutely no need to add
yeah,
that in.
yeah,
Like, and I train a different way, and that
yeah,
might suit you, but it might not. But that's why I
yeah.
wouldn't go to that person.
And depending on what you do, like I've mentioned before with a certain trainer, if people ask me what he's like, I'm like, I don't know what he's like as a trainer. I said I personally haven't had great experience with him, but I don't doubt his or hers training ability because I don't know about that, so I
Yeah,
can't tell you that.
that's it.
Um, but for someone, and I know obviously just that said trainer has bashed other trainers before. And I don't see the point because your business should be able to speak for itself. Your review should speak for itself. Your clients referring on to other clients should speak for itself. If your business isn't doing its own promotion and is that you haven't got word of mouth of people telling you how, like other people, how great you are, you're not doing it right.
Absolutely.
Like,
And you got that thing, haven't you? When you first start, you've got no reviews, you've got no clients because you're brand new.
yeah,
Go and seek out people that have been in the industry a long while, whose ethics seem
yeah,
online exactly what you want to do. Become friendly with them. Don't just like be a bit of a idiot about it and be like, have you got any more clients for me?
yeah.
Because I think that's rude. Like, I've had it a few times where people have like messaged me like, oh, if you've got any clients, can you give them to me? No,
No,
no, I cannot. But
yeah,
can we sit down and have a coffee
yeah,
together and a bit of cake and see if our ethics
yeah.
align and how we get on and if I can help you? Absolutely, I'll do that. And I have gone and met people that I've never seen before out for a coffee in a local shop. And actually, they've turned out to be people I now recommend.
Yeah. And the thing is, whether people like it or not, social media is massive today. Like, you have to have a certain presence on social media, whether people like it or not.
Yeah,
Um, you do have to look at how you're presenting yourself day to day. You have got to look at how you're presenting yourself on social media. You aren't always going to get people that like you. I know I've got clients that don't like ex-clients that don't like me because of things that have or haven't happened. That's part of business. You're never going to please everyone. But you do what you can do to get the most, either the best reviews you can from the clients that actually appreciate you, or the most amicable end to the ones that you don't service anymore.
yeah,
And again, like you're never going to please everyone. And depending on the situation, it says a lot about you on how you handle it. So if you have an unfortunate ending to service with a client, but then you go around bashing that client and saying, oh, well, they're fucking bellend anyway. Like, excuse my language, that was a bit OTT.
yeah,
Um, if you go around bashing them and you go around telling other pet professionals, depending on it. So with previous clients that you and Jazz know I've had, when the dog's been a risk
yeah. I
to
think
pet
I think
professionals,
that's the key of it,
it's
isn't
been
it?
mentioned.
If you know that that client isn't mentioning a
Yeah,
vital part of information that is putting other walkers or sitters or trainers or physios or whatever at
yeah,
risk, they're not mentioning, i.e., that that dog does bite,
yeah,
and you know full well that who they're going to, Or,
Yeah.
for example, they've said to their walker that they're brilliant on lead. You see on social media that
Yeah.
they've got them off lead, and you go, actually, I had that dog
Yeah.
and it ran off.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you
Oh,
know,
okay. Yeah. And that's the thing, like
we're all
obviously,
doing it to be friendly with each other.
yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get to
We're not,
say.
yeah, you don't do it because you're not trying to get them to not service them or anything like that. Like you don't want them. If that's happened, they're gone. Like, but with this previous client, so we've got a local walkers group on WhatsApp,
Yeah,
and I didn't name names. I didn't directly do anything, but after finding out there was a second incident with the dog with another walker, I just put in the group saying, look, if anyone gets this type of dog in this area, please can you just message me because it's attempted to bite me. It has bitten someone else.
yeah,
Owners full well know about it and nothing's being done. I
yeah.
just want to make sure that no one gets put in the same position. And the
Ab-
same as in that WhatsApp, they'll put out like if they've seen again, it is judgmental, but if they've seen a dodgy looking person in the park that's following them around, or even if their car's been nicked or something, just to make people aware. Because obviously, if you've got a marked van and stuff like that, then if that's the one that's been stolen, then they might be targeting those types of walkers. Like it is important to have that, and we're never doing it to annoy people. Or upset people. We're not doing it because we're jealous. Like we're just trying to help each other.
Absolutely. And I think there's that other safety aspect. I mean, a, generally, a lot of pet professionals are women
Yeah.
on their own. We could be walking in the woods alone. The other day, my friend phoned me because she thought she was being followed. Um,
I
and
did
she,
it. Yes, Thursday.
yep, literally, she phoned me and she was like, I am pinging you my location.
Yeah.
I think I'm being followed. I was actually with another client myself walking. I put my headphones in and I
Yeah.
stayed with her on the other end of the phone. I said, I will literally stay on the other end of the phone until the point that you have dropped that dog
Yeah.
home. And so I literally she was in my ear in my headphones the whole way. I did
Yeah.
my drop off at the dog, said goodbye to my client. She was still in my headphones until the point she said, right, I'm at the client's door. I've gone in now.
Yeah.
And I was like, brilliant, thanks. She's safe. I had her location on my phone. I also was so ready to have jumped
Yeah.
in my car and gone if need be.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of us are on our own, and it's about that safety aspect.
Yeah.
If a dog run off,
Yeah.
who can you call to come and help you?
Yeah.
Who can you call, especially if you're a pack walker and you've got loads of other dogs with you?
Yeah.
You need them safe first and foremost. So it's having those allies to be
Yeah.
able to do something like that.
Yeah. And definitely, and again, in the sense of dog trainers, like if you unfortunately do take on a case that not that you can't handle, but either it's just not gelling or it might be more than you realize. So it might be so if I took on a case and then actually it's a clinical behavioral case, I'd have to refer it to a clinical behaviorist. I couldn't just
Yeah.
take it on and keep going because actually I might do more damage by doing it.
But
Um,
equally, you might want to shadow, which is
yeah,
also okay.
yeah, and I think it is whether you make allies across just the pet industry. So, like I said, vets, physios, groomers. Like I've got a couple of groomer allies and stuff like that, or outside of the industry, like we said, with rugby clubs, social clubs, pubs, all of that. There's no reason why you can't have a good background of people around you.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
It's
Oh. So, my takeaway for this episode is if you feel like you want to reach out to a pet professional in your area that works maybe either in the same sector as you or other sectors, and you're a bit scared, just ping them a message and say, "Shall we go and grab a coffee and a cake?" I mean, coffee and cake always goes down really well with everyone.
yes, it does.
And make some friends with people that could perhaps help you out sometime.
Yeah. And equally with clients, don't be afraid to ask your walker, your trainer, your behaviourist, your groomer if they can work with another pet professional in order to get you the services that you need. So whether that means asking your groomer to talk to your trainer, or if it means asking your walker to talk to another walker, so that if you're on holiday that you can sort out walks between the two of you, then don't be afraid to do it. The majority of us should be okay. If they're not, then I think again, as we've just mentioned, it kind of says a lot about the other person if they're not willing to work with others.
I mean, the only ever time that I wouldn't be happy with someone else going to a different walker would be if I've got a reactive dog and they're throwing them in a pack.
Yeah, and like we said, like if you're having to squash your ethics or your morals to work with someone else, you shouldn't have to do that. So it's completely fine to say, look, I don't think we're going to work together here. Like, it's not a problem. I think you're better off being upfront about that than you are just kind of hiding it.
Absolutely. I mean, as I said, that would only ever be the problem that I would have
Yeah.
if that dog as an individual should not be in a great walk. And I will directly say to the owner as to why I don't think it's
Yeah.
a good
And
idea.
I think I've only ever had one other pet professional that I wouldn't work with, and again, that was all down to ethics.
Yeah.
And it is approaching it the right way. So just saying to them, look, I don't do this, I don't do that sort of thing. Like if that's what you do, that's great, but that's not how we work things. Um, there's nothing wrong with being honest in that. Obviously, with everything, you have to approach it correctly depending on the individual, but there's nothing wrong with just saying, look, we don't gel. That's not how it's going to work.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But if you are stuck and or want to reach out to others, be smart about it, be friendly about it, and don't just message them if you've got any leftover clients.
No, definitely not. Right, that's going to be the end of today's podcast. It was a short and sweet one, but thank you for watching. As always, like, share, comment,
Just
etc. Thank you for coming again, Jess, and we will see you soon.
see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.